What's the inspiration behind the logo?
Cupcakes was the first thing I ever sold. I sold a box of cupcakes for 360 rupees. My first order. And butterflies is something I'm obsessed with. I'm always drawing something. I was obsessed. As a child, I was obsessed with butterflies. So you'd always see me in the garden catching some fancy, cool butterflies. If you see my kitchen, one wall has one little, it's creepy, but it has dead butterflies also. It has photos of butterflies also. Baking is something that it comes effortless to me.
You also went to vet school for a few years and then dropped out.
The college was in Goregaon. And
I'm serious.
They used to make me go to Goregaon every day. At 8 in the morning, and I had to go to the farm and collect eggs and all. College was a lot of fun.
But why did you drop out?
Because I have my memory is really, really bad. Veterinary science is like MBBS into 10. You're not studying one animal. You're studying the full animal kingdom. Okay, to an extent.
Which was the most unlikely pet you have had?
Mongoose baby. I used to love it. He used to run.
A mongoose baby?
A mongoose baby. It was this size. It's like a rat, but this size. And they grow up to... Oh, wait. I've also had a monitor lizard. Yes. Kept it in a jar and I'd give it one chicken piece every morning. He used to stink, but I used to love it. And then I used to open it. He used to run around in the house and I used to keep him back. I don't think I did the best job.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the MADtherapy Sessions podcast.
Our guest for today is Zahra Thakur. She is the founder of One More Bite, which is her bakery startup, and they recently completed 8 successful years of making customized cakes and cupcakes. She's an avid trekker, a travel enthusiast, and loves animals.
The audio podcast is available on Spotify and Anchor. The links to that and the description down below. Drop a like if you like this video and consider subscribing if you end up loving it. And also don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on the podcast. Till then, enjoy the episode.
So Zahra, you are the owner of One More Bite. Can you please tell what One More Bite is?
Well, One More Bite is a homegrown bakery, and I started working around 8.5 years ago. I used to bake cupcakes and cakes and all kind of party desserts, whatever people want. And it just picked up super fast. Like, people loved what I did. I worked a lot and it just got better from the time that I started. Like, if you see the first cake I made, it was like, it looked like a disaster. Like, now if someone tells me, the same thing, at that point I used to take 3 hours to do one thing. Now I'll do it in an hour and a half. And the neatness is also 20x better. And
So how did you come up with the name One More Bite?
Well, we thought a lot. It was basically also my brother and my siblings and my parents. We thought a lot about what to name it. And I feel like maybe... One More Bite now, if you go to see it, sounds like something that a 20-year-old would name. But I was 20, so it's okay. Don't you think it's a little babyish? It could be more something.
But it does not sound generic. It sounds very personalized.
It is personalized. One More Bite is basically I have a tagline below it which says you can't have enough. Because you'll definitely, I promise you will want one more bite.
And what's the inspiration behind the logo with the whole butterfly thing and the cupcake thing?
Well, cupcakes are one of the few, after I started, cupcakes was the first thing I ever sold. I sold a box of cupcakes for 360 rupees for my first order. And butterflies is something I'm obsessed with. I used to, if you know how people scribble on their books and do random things, I'm always drawing a butterfly. I'm always drawing something. I was obsessed. As a child, I was obsessed with butterflies. So you'd always see me in the garden catching some fancy, cool butterflies. If you see my kitchen, one wall has one little, it's creepy, but it has dead butterflies also. It has photos of butterflies also. But I love butterflies. So I kind of found this on Google, an inspiration, and I put it together and it wasn't taken. And basically it's a cluster of butterflies, and it's they're flying out. So it's like one more bite and it's in the shape of a cupcake and it's butterflies. So all my favorite things.
So win-win for you.
Yes.
So did you undergo any formal training?
Not really.
For baking?
I actually did, you know how you go for these crash courses and for like 2-hour sessions where you just go learn how to make cupcakes. And so this one morning I just woke up and my mother was like, dude, what are you doing with your life? Why don't you just do something? So I literally Googled cupcake baking classes in Bombay, and there was one which was happening 2 hours, like within 2 hours. This was at 11. It was happening in 3 hours. It was at 2 o'clock in Andheri. I literally just woke up, got ready, and I went to Andheri for this 2-hour cupcake class. Then the next class I went was like, I learned how to make fondant customization and stuff like that, and just basic crash courses. Like, it wasn't even a course, it was a 1-day session, you know. So that's all I did, and then it's just gotten better with practice.
Right. Ever thought of going abroad to study more about baking and, you know, more in depth?
I would have considered it. I mean, I did consider it, but by the time One More Bite picked up, like, it picked up really, really fast, and I already had like a clientele that wanted stuff that I was making, you know. So I didn't want to, and I was the only person working besides my mother. Like, she was like my all-time helper. Like, I need her and she's there. Like, she was the best. But like, I can't shut my work for a month or 2 or 3 and go and study. I mean, maybe it could have done me good, but I was
probably
into what I was doing.
Probably if it would not have done so well, you would have thought
if I was not available. Like, if I wasn't available, like, I'd work the whole day. My first 2-3 years, I had no social life.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was working 24/7. Even if I wanted to chill with people, I'd be like, hey, do you want to come for a drive? We'll do a delivery. Like, this was my social planning for the first 2 years.
That's like, so cool and sad at the same time.
Exactly. But it was so much fun because, like, it was very nice. Like, and I used to eat as much as I made. So, which obviously now I can't.
So, why did you choose baking as a career?
Well, it's because it's something on the creative line. Like, I know it's a fixed recipe that you follow for everything that you make, but like, I do a lot of customization, which is exactly what an artist would do. And after I quit veterinary science, I wanted to do something in the creative lines because I knew that's something I would be good at. My second option was architecture after veterinary science, but I'd already dropped math in the 12th, so that was not an option after. And we had to give a couple of exams for that, which I'd obviously not done at all. So yeah, I mean, what did you say again? Like,
you know, the whole process of because what I wanted to ask you is, what does, like, you know, baking mean to you? Because you have done, I mean, it's been going to be close to a decade now into this business.
Baking is something that it comes effortless to me. I think it's a talent that I have. It's something that, like, I love making desserts and taking it everywhere I go. Like, if I'm going for a dinner, I have to take dessert and go. Like, you know, people be like, oh, why do you have to like do extra work and take? I love the appreciation. Like, there's never been a time where someone's like, oh, this sucks. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be mean to me and tell me it sucks. I do like constructive criticism. Okay, I do. I swear.
Thanks for putting that out.
Yes, but like, I obviously take the safe stuff which I was going to like, and then like the appreciation is so much that it
you love it.
Exactly, it makes me so happy, and it's like, that's what it means. Like, I feel like, you know, if I can add that special bit on someone's special occasion, okay, just by literally making something that is personalized for them and make their day even better. Like, you know, the amount of people that message me, amount of clients, which they don't need to, like, they can just order a cake and take it, and then it's none of my business. But they'll almost, like, at least more than 60% of the people will be like, oh, it was really, really good, it was fab, you made my day, you made this one's day, that one's day. And I'm just like, wow, like, this is what I live for. It's insane. I'm also really bad at taking compliments to the face, so it's good on text.
So you started from home, right?
Yes.
And it must be just your home oven or something. So, I mean, what all have you upgraded from day one in the last
now
few
that
years?
You say home kitchen, it was so funny because initially I started working literally from the home kitchen for the first 6 months. And I would start my day at 11, exactly when my mother would enter the kitchen to cook as well. And like we'd be clashing into each other, and I'd do all the baking work with her and the customization in my own bedroom. And then in that first year, December, someone wanted me to make some more than 1,000 customized cupcakes.
Wow.
So
At one go?
At like over a period of 3-4 days, but it was mad
That's
customization.
Crazy. 3-4 days.
Exactly.
1,000
Sorry,
cupcakes.
around 5 days. But I had
Still a
mom.
week.
Exactly. I had mom, and we literally like worked for, you could say, 16 hours and maybe slept for 2-3 hours break. Then like again started working, and we'd work continuous, and she would do the housework and come and like help again. And at night, like we're downing Red Bull and Coke and like just trying to stay awake. I've gone to sleep while painting the Santa Claus on the cupcake. My mother has gone to sleep while making those red shaped balls. It was too funny. It was too much fun. But yeah, we started. Then because of that order, I actually made a kitchen out of the spare room that we had in the house. And then 7 years I worked out of that. And after that, finally last December, we moved into another rental space, and I finally have my own kitchen.
That's crazy.
With staff and all. And I'm just like, obviously it was overwhelming because I'm not good, I think, at delegating, and I'm not used to having people do my work.
Test you as a leader of the room.
Yeah, of course. Like it's just the beginning, and I hope to get better. But like, it's quite a task to like. It's so much easier to just do it off instead of explaining to the fools.
So now looking back, how has been your journey so far?
It has been
What do you think
great.
about yourself?
I would not have it any other way. I think I'm a very hardworking girl, and I love what I do. And more often than not, I choose work over 9-10 other things that go around in my life. I literally work all day, and gladly, like I love it. I love doing what I do. And yeah, if you want to hang, let's meet at night.
So, what if someone wants to make baking as a career?
Yes.
Or who's just starting out? What would your advice be for them?
I would say, well, I think you should really, do a proper course, unlike me. Like, it's great that I started like this.
Like a full-time, long-term course.
Yeah, do it properly, professionally. You'll know so much more. Your organization skills, you have that base ready for yourself. Like I mean, not like what I'm doing is bad. I learned over like years.
Yeah.
But when you've properly done it, you know the base of everything. You'll know so much more, and then you can obviously study more. Sky's the limit, blah blah blah. But I just feel like it's better. You'll be more organized. You'll know how to do things a certain way, and it's just better.
That's quite insightful. So you also went to vet school for a few years and then dropped out.
Yes.
Why is
I'm
that?
glad.
But what were your reasons for dropping out?
Well, firstly because the college was in Goregaon. And
I'm serious.
they used to make me go to Goregaon every day, which was so far. Like, I used to take at least an hour to go to college at like 8 in the morning, and I had to go to the farm and collect eggs and all. These are my practicals. At 8 a.m. I have to reach RA Colony. And
Yeah, so?
See,
It's Goregaon, it's not Gorai or like...
Okay,
Are you
sorry.
serious?
Hey, don't listen to me. Well, college was a lot of fun. Like
No, but why did you drop out?
Why did I drop out? Because my memory is really, really bad.
Okay.
Like, veterinary science is like MBBS into 10. You're not studying one animal. You're studying the full animal kingdom, okay, to an extent. And I don't have that kind of memory. I really tried. But I got like, when you're studying so much, I'd study with my friends the same 1 month right before the exam. We'd study the same amount. But I'm writing the exam. In the exam, I'm
not able to...
I can't remember the word. Because it's not like, generic words. Like, it's proper, how science is. Like, everything has a term, right? I could not remember the terms. I remember the explanation for the term. And I'd be like, oh, it's on the right side of the page in the book. But what is the term?
So what was like the turning point where you decided, no, this is enough. I think I should drop?
Well, I actually didn't. I was studying in my second year finals, I failed the second year.
Okay.
And I was just like, and so after my first year exams, I was like, I went to my parents. I was like, I don't want to do this. Can I please drop out? And they were just like, my brother sat me down. I said, he's like, dude, for like 3 years, you've fought with your father and you're like, you wanted to become a vet. Now that you're doing it, now you're saying you don't want to do it. Don't be so dumb about it. Just give your exam. This was before the exam only, before the first year exam. I said, no, I don't want to do it. Okay, fine. The full family, you guys were going to MADtherapy. I was like, I'm coming to MADtherapy. They made me sit at home and study for these stupid exams. And all of y'all went. Obviously, I didn't study at all. I was like, oh, empty house. Wow.
No, but so that was like when you failed, that was turning point where you thought
there's no way I was repeating the year.
Okay.
Because the first year anyway, like I gave my exam. Second year, I failed one exam. So obviously I'd have to repeat the year for it. And there's no way. Anyway, I was dying to leave. Because it was way too much for my brain capacity. Like I cannot study so much. It's interesting, okay? But you should be able to remember it, right? Like you should know what your capacity is instead of just doing something aimlessly.
Got it.
So that's why I had to drop out.
So in a limited time there, how was your experience?
Well, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I met some really crazy people. Like I have some really good friends who are still my friends. And the studying wise also, like it was nice. There was a lot to remember. I actually preferred the practicals a lot more. Okay, because even in anatomy, the professor told me, oh, you have a very steady hand, you'll be good at surgeries. And I said, oh, now I do it on my cakes. Because, I do have a good hand, but like I should have the brain also.
I think you should change your name to Sugar Surgeon or something like that.
Ooh.
You can.
Right.
So, but why did you choose to become a vet initially?
Well, because I was so obsessed with animals. It clearly comes down through with my family, because like my mother loves animals, my mama is crazy, and I was a mad person when it came to pets in my house. I've had like every single thing that could I could possibly keep, from like pigeons to chickens to rats. I had a full family of rats. I had a mongoose baby. I had a water snake for like 2 days. I had kittens. I used to feed all the cats in the building till people like packed them up in gonies and threw them and all, which was ridiculous. So my dream plan was like, oh, I want to become a vet. I want to do this, because I was so passionate about it. Even on TV, like when you guys would want to watch Cartoon Network and like Pokemon and whatever, which was also fun. But I remember I'd be like, oh, Animal Planet, Natural Geographic. This was like, because even with Dad, I used to watch a lot of it. So it was so interesting. Like the animal kingdom is insane. So that's why I was like, oh, I want to become a vet. But clearly just loving animals and finding everything cute is not enough.
So, you have had so many pets. Which was the most unlikely pet you have had?
Mongoose baby. I used to love it. He used to run.
Mongoose baby?
A mongoose baby. It was this.
Okay.
This size. It's like a rat, but this size. And they grow up to... Oh, wait. I've also had a monitor lizard. Yes, this guy gave it to me in college. This random senior. He was roaming around with it. And I said, oh my God, you have a monitor lizard. Can I have it? And he said, yeah, take it. And I took it home and I kept it in a jar. Like a huge jar. And I'd give it one chicken piece every morning. And he used to stink, but I used to love it. And then I used to open it. He used to run around in the house and I used to keep him back. I don't think I did the best job. And then this one day he just like, I opened it because some guest had come and I was like, oh my God, have you seen my pet lizard? He runs very cutely.
Oh shit.
And I opened it and he ran. And then he went behind the cupboard and then there was nothing of him left. He clearly disappeared in Agripara. But yeah, monitor lizard and the mongoose baby was my favorite because he'd cuddle and he'd sleep next to my neck at night. And like, when we were roaming around, he'd walk up and come and like sit on my shoulder. He was super friendly and very cute.
So according to you, who is this veterinary course for?
People who are obviously like passionate about animals and who, you should know that you can be, if you have that dedication to given 5 years plus masters, because just being a doctor is not enough. Just like being a physician is not enough, right? Like you have to specialize in something. People who are passionate about it, also people who want to get into the animal husbandry sector. Because it's veterinary science and animal husbandry, which is why we had practicals like collecting eggs and going and milking cows
That
and
sounds
whatnot.
fun.
Oh, it was nice, but not when you have to go at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So
It was a task, I swear. Pick up the eggs, wipe one egg, collect it.
So it's for someone who's passionate and who's willing to be.
But yeah, you should know what you're getting into. And I mean, obviously, like, I knew to an extent. I'd just gone and seen the college once, but it's a lot of studying. Like, you cannot, it's not a child's play to just, like, you know, figure it out. It's, you have to be able to study that much. You should have that grasping ability to, like, you know, do that.
You have fostered a lot of animals. So can you share something about that?
Well,
I mean, how did you get into fostering?
I think, well, my first time that I actually fostered was, earlier I used to go to Crawford Market to buy all my saman. And I saw one cat on the side. His eye was busted and he was bleeding. Okay, and he was just probably like maybe 3 months old. So I took him back. I took him home and I took him to the vet, got him, got medicines, whatever. Within maybe like 2-3 weeks, his eye had completely healed, but obviously he couldn't see. His vision was gone, but like it completely healed. I spoke to people. I spoke to this organization called World for All, and I contacted them on Facebook, and I said, you know, like, I'd like to put this up for adoption. And someone actually adopted that cat who was randomly sitting in Crawford Market with a bleeding eye. Like, he grew up, and after like 2-3 years, that person even sent me a photo. Oh, now he has a friend too, because they had adopted one more cat. So they had two, and it was too good. Like, that feeling of giving a life to something that probably had none. It was beautiful. I've probably fostered at least 30-40 cats by now.
Wow.
You know, like, they stay with me when they really, like, they've come to me when they're so small with the eyes shut.
Yeah.
You know, so like, you have to feed them, wake up at 6 in the morning. I don't mind waking up in the morning for this. Like, I'd wake up, feed them in my sleep, go back, and they'd like pee over you, and like it's dirty. Because you cannot like speak to a 1-day-old kitten.
True,
or like
true.
they're not going to understand shit. So you have to be very patient. But it's like a baby. Yeah, they're so cute. I wanna do whatever I can. So I've fostered a lot, and 9 out of 10 times they've actually gotten adopted, which was great. Like, it's too satisfactory. Like, I love it.
Because my next question was that, like, do you work with any organization or any foster?
Not really. Currently, I'm not fostering at all, because I also have 2 cats of my own, and they hate like me getting any foster. Like, they get violent with me and they'll start scratching me. This one time, he saw the, like, I was holding my cat, and he saw the other kitten in the basket. He scratched me on my face. Nutty scratched me on my face because he was so irritated with just another animal in the same room. So they obviously don't like it. So I've stopped it. And plus, like, these foster babies are too hyper, and like, I also don't have the time for it right now.
Any organization you would recommend people so that they can?
I only have dealt with World for All, so they're sweet.
You would recommend them?
Yeah, I like, all my fosters have gone through World for All only. There's this girl who was working with them, and she fostered one of my cats, and then, like, that's how it worked out.
Can anyone foster animals?
Well, it's like having a baby that never grows up.
Okay.
So if you're, like, fostering, anyone can foster as long as you have the time. Like, earlier also, because I used to work from home, I could manage it, because, like, you know, I know when I need to feed the cat, clean it up. I've had cats that have come that are paralyzed, okay, where they can't even walk, like, they're dragging the second half of their body. So, I mean, you have to have that patience and the time. Not like, you can't, like, say, okay, I'll foster, keep it at home, finish a full day ka work, and come home at night to take care of it. It doesn't work like, it's not a full-grown pet. So, no.
And I'm following you on Instagram, and recently you have been posting a lot of pictures and photos from a lot of treks and hikes. So, what's your reason to go on, like, treks and hikes?
Well, I actually just came across, like, you know, came across people who, and my friends who started going for treks by themselves. They went for one trek before me, and I was like, oh, you know, I don't mind coming for one of these. And I went for one, and it was so much fun. Like, the first trek that we went, honestly, we didn't know how long it was. And every 20 minutes we asked someone, kitna time? They'll say, abhi 1 ghanta, 4 ghanta, we're not reaching on top. And we had all gone in Nike shoes, because we didn't know better. One to came in football shoes, imagine, thinking like it will be better grip. All of us have fallen flat on our ass at least once on that trek.
Which trek was that?
And that was
Somewhere around Bombay?
yes, in Maharashtra. Name now. You know this. You know it was the first one I went for.
Rajgarh.
No. Can I check it on my phone?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you have photos of that or no?
Yep. I do.
I mean, you just went recently or sometime back, or you started your trek thing with...
Well, the highest one I've gone to is Kalsubai, which is obviously the highest in Maharashtra. Recently, most recent one was was on New Year's Eve. I went to Harish Chandragarh.
Okay. That's in North, right? No, that's...
In Maharashtra.
In Maharashtra.
All Sayadri. Okay, I'm going to say it to you another time, but it was so much fun. And those people had just become my friends. I just got to know them 2-3 months back. But because we dealt with that trek together, we were like, oh, now we're going to be friends for life for sure. Because if we could do this together, we can do anything together. Because it was so taxing. And even while coming back, and it was pouring, and we were walking in puddles with Nike shoes, and our socks wet, we were wet, we were looking like homeless people doing something. It was... And we had a great time in that mess. So it was, and yeah, treks obviously are really fun because the views are so good. Once you reach up, it's great. You literally, I mean, it's just like mountain ranges all around you. At some point, you're going to be in the middle of a cloud, like I told you, and it's beautiful. It's too nice.
One thing you've learned after, going on so many treks.
There's peace in nature. There's so much beauty, and you are nothing our worries in the world are so small compared to this. You just go and you can literally forget about the world. It's just so peaceful.
You get detached completely.
You get detached completely, and the best part is, hey, you don't have network. So you literally you're literally detached, and you don't care what is happening. You don't want to look back. You don't want to think at all. It's great. And we only do one night treks. We literally reach there before the sun rises, reach the base. So we start walking up. So before the crowd actually comes in, we're already getting down. So otherwise, you're going to go with 50 people around you, and honestly, that's no fun.
Any funny incident or memory you would want to share from any of the treks you've been to?
Funny incident? Well, this one time I had gone for a trek with one of my friends, and we reached there, and our car was very, very low on petrol.
Okay.
And we went... Our car was very low on petrol. So we just walked towards the closest village that we could on the top. Sorry, on the base after getting down. We were like, okay, now what do we do? Because you know how the car takes in more petrol when the roads are bad and stuff, right? And the first 8 kilometers while getting out are bad roads. So we're like, okay, now what do we do? So we found one guy, paid him some money. He went on his bike to get petrol in his car in a bottle and whatever. And in the meanwhile, we were roaming around, again homeless. And obviously we were very tired because we've been up all night and done this whole number. Then we walked ahead, we ate some Maggie, all of that. Then we walked a little more ahead, and I promise I feel like this is the Goldilocks story, because we found some tents. Hey, the tents were empty. We napped.
Oh shit.
We went to sleep.
Completely empty.
Empty, because in the day the people who come to live in tents, they only camp at night, right? Mostly. In the day, so they're trekking and all, right?
So we
slept
went in someone else's tent.
It was an empty tent. There was nothing in it. So we went.
Should have taken the consent of the tent,
There was nobody. There was 0 people. You could only hear the wind and the grass. There was no noise, no nothing. We went. We said we'll sit for some time. We were like, okay, let's do. And then we went to sleep.
Did someone come back?
Nothing. We woke up in Mana and we went. And by that time, the guy had come with our petrol. This was one crazy time. Even my last trek was quite crazy, but it's a long story. Never mind. all these crazy trek things happen with me only. Like there's some, like, I don't think normal things can happen in my life. Some gadbad has to happen.
You have a connection, yeah.
For sure.
You have also started working out a lot since the last few years. May have reduced now, but wanted to ask you what regime do you follow?
Well, as of today, I follow none. Sorry, FTS, but I want to get back. Well, my entire life I've struggled to lose weight because I was this really fat child. Obviously, you know that. And I had an entirely super fit family from my brother, my sister, my father. All of them are really fit. So that's my inspiration to start with. And then in the lockdown, we also had we had a lot of time to ourselves. Like, my work picked up a lot in the lockdown.
Yeah.
Okay. But besides that, there was a lot of free time to yourself because you're not getting out anyway.
True.
So, like, I started following FTS. Okay, that's Fight the Sunrise.
FTS is the regiment.
Yes, that's his brand name is called Fight the Sunrise.
Okay.
And you have to check him out. His workouts are very hectic. Like, it's a 1.5 hour workout, but it will get you what you want. Like, if you want to look,
It helped you.
it helped me. Like, I had abs and cuts, and I've never felt fitter and more confident in my whole life. Because I've always been like, oh, jadi, moti, golu. You know how people used to say this? Like, casually call me. Like, my name was not there. They used to, sometimes the Zara used to become, hey, jadi, hey, jada. You know what I mean? So, from that, then I obviously want to become fitter. I don't want to be motu.
Was that the motivation behind it?
Yes, sure. And because I worked out regularly and properly followed it, I actually saw some insane results. So because of that, like, obviously I wanted to, like, I went all out in that 1 year. And yeah, I mean, if you touch my abs, they're still kadak.
So how did the regimen help you in your daily schedule?
I mean,
Like, you know, working out.
Honestly, right now, the working out at that point was great because, like, it, you know, once you sweat it out, you really feel good. Like, while doing it, you'll probably be like, oh, I'm dying or whatever. But after, the post-workout glow is a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah.
It's a thing. Like, you feel so confident and you feel so fit, even though sometimes you were so sore that I couldn't sit and stand at one point. but yeah, I mean, it was good.
So we have come to our final rapid fire section.
Coffee with color.
There's no hamper, but
That's sad.
I'm just waiting for one more bite to sponsor us. So we'll start with that. What's your favorite restaurant? You can name
Royal China.
Oh,
That was quick.
that was way too quick.
Okay, I can tell you favorite for every cuisine also.
Go ahead.
Well, Asian, Royal China.
Okay.
Okay. Mexican. I mean, this is online, but I love maize. The Mexican maize. The Mexican is really good. Pizza is Pizza Express or Pizza by the Bay.
Okay. Wonderful choices. Yeah.
And Indian is Ishara because we loved it the last time.
It's one of the
Imagine,
best Indian food
right?
I've had in recent times.
Imagine, yes, I'd never thought. And seafood best is at home.
Cockney food.
Can't beat it.
Favorite brand?
What brand?
Any brand.
One more bite.
Apart from one more bite.
One more bite.
Apart from one.
Come on. I don't have a favorite brand.
Anything is a brand. Your phone has a brand. Your clothes have a brand. Your shoes have a brand. What's your favorite brand?
My favorite brand would be Louis Vuitton, I guess. I mean, if you think of it like that.
Exotic choice.
Yeah.
Best hiking trip yet.
Rajmachi. Oh, Triund. Come on. Our trek together, Triund trek. Best ever. Remember how we reached on top and passed out for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
With the snow mountains and like a sunny sky, and like we just slept
And
for
the-
30 and windy. Wow.
And the view was worth it.
That was my best trek.
But uske baad.
Uske baad, Afan. Oh my god. He's a funny guy.
Worst baking purchase yet?
Worst baking purchase?
Equipment or anything what you've bought for a baking business?
I can't think of anything that's really, really bad. I
Something
mean,
which
there are a lot of cookie cutters which you see on Instagram or you see as advertisements and you be like, oh, this is so cool for a party order. But honestly, I would rather just cut it out if it's
Yeah.
for one order. No, people get cookie cutters for everything, thinking they don't have to cut it out. But it's not something like an everyday kind of order, right?
Got
So you
it.
don't want to invest only in stuff like this. Use your...
But what has been your worst purchase yet?
Yeah, I have a couple of these time pass things that are just lying around.
And you may not be using them anymore.
Never, probably never. I'll make it for myself and eat it, but I didn't
Okay.
need that in my life.
Tea or coffee?
Both. Tea and coffee and then acidity.
No, one. Zaru, one.
What? Coffee.
Okay. One thing you want to change about the baking business?
I don't have anything in particular to change about it. I feel like
One thing you think...
every other place that you go, you'll find a specialty that people make and just enjoy it now. What is there to change?
No, the baking business, what is happening, the whole... Anything you would want to, you think can be improved?
I know a lot of things I can personally improve on myself. About the world, don't care.
Not the world, the baking business. Something like, if it's worth it, they should not, ask for discounts.
Like that.
Yeah, that's
well,
one.
Yeah. Oh my God,
so
that is
that's
a
one.
whole nother story. Like people really need to understand the work and the effort and the time that goes into it and stop behaving cheap about it.
Yeah, so that was my question.
Yes.
One thing you'd
Yes.
want to
Okay.
change.
Now I get it. Yeah, for sure. Like, I think but depends. Like, people who understand art will know that it's not something that's machine made and it's happening. We are literally giving you handmade, customized to the T kind of things. Like
Made with love.
Made with love. So,
What's your favorite baking recipe?
my cheesecake. It's the best that I do and it will never disappoint anybody. Unless it's eggless.
One adventure you would want to go on?
Night dive. Scuba.
Okay, and why?
I would really want to see the sea at night underwater. I think it will be insane. And imagine corals will be glowing. This is it's in my fantasy world. I don't know if it's true, but imagine every creature has this thing, right? What if one part of it glows at night and all that beauty only going to see at night? I want to see it. Most of the people I know are like, oh, night mein karne ki kya zarurat hai? It's so scary. I really want to do it.
I think you'll do it soon.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you so much, Zaru. Thank you for coming on this podcast. It was great having you.
I'm glad I came.
This is more like just a quick overview of what you do. Hopefully, we'll have you again soon and discuss more in depth about your trips and funny
For
things.
sure.
Because I know you have a lot of them. So thank you again for taking your time and coming on this podcast.
Love you.
Thank you.
Bye. Rashad.
I have to just take it.
Now it's a different world.
How was it?
It was chill. Just remove all the parts where I'm just sounding that.